Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Tanya Takeover, where I'm your girl Tanya. Today we're going to be talking about mistakes that people make in their business. Now, whether you are a new business owner, you are thinking about launching that business, or you've been in business for a while, you know that it's easier said than done. Everybody's on the internet telling you how easy it is, but they don't really tell you the mistakes that you can make. Here's where I come in, guys. I have made them all, but it's fine. Somebody can grow from the mistakes that I've made. I'm all for it. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button, guys. On my channel, we talk about beauty, finance, and fashion, the trifecta. You can't have one without the other, and let's get started. So guys, honestly speaking, having a business is not easy. And anybody who makes you feel like it's easy is quite frankly lying to you. I don't care if it's a brick and mortar. I don't care if it's online. There's kind of a growth curve that nobody's going to understand until they get into it. There are so many mistakes that I made getting into business. I felt it was only right to let you guys in on the secret. First off, you're not going to have it all figured out. Okay, and that's fine. That is okay. If you can learn from other people or speak to other people about your business before you start it, that is the ideal way to go. But until you have that person, you have me. I am here for you guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the things people make in their business. The first thing I would definitely say is you're waiting for the perfect time that's never going to come. When you start a business, you are so excited that you just kind of want to jump in. But you want the moon to align the right way, you want everything to be set up, and honestly speaking, guys, it's never going to be the perfect time. Starting a business is scary. It's a big investment, it's a big time infringement, and there's a lot of things that you have to put into it. But waiting for it to be perfect, you're going to be waiting till 4 or 5 years down the line, because honestly speaking, you're never going to have enough money saved up, you're never going to have it all figured out, nothing's ever going to be perfect the way you want it to be. I had to learn this the hard way. I wanted to wait for more inventory to come in. I wanted to wait until my website was just right. And when you wait for all of those things, you keep pushing back the date, pushing back the time that you have to spend, and quite frankly, making yourself even more frustrated. Just remember that everybody who started a business started the same way you did. They didn't have it all figured out. They didn't have everything perfectly aligned. Those things come with time. Those things being in the environment and the work and the mind frame to learn something new about your business every day. When I first started my daycare centers, I didn't know anything. I honestly didn't. I didn't research. I didn't look at it. I just knew I had this amount in my savings. Let me spend it and start a business. But I didn't know the things that came with it. And I waited to learn as I went. This probably wasn't the right way for me to do it personally, but when you get in there and start doing what you need to do, it's all gonna come. Things are gonna start happening for you. People are gonna start telling you more and getting you into it. There were so many times that I wanted to make sure that I had the right furniture for the kids. I wanted to make sure I had the right environment, the right paint colors. Guys, just start the business. Sometimes doing all this stalls what you already know. It's going to be hard. Changes you can make as you go along, but starting is usually the hardest part. So make sure that you're not waiting for it to be perfect. Make sure that you're set up. I'm not saying go in unprepared, but waiting for that perfect star to align and the perfect paint color or the perfect inventory. If you keep waiting for that, it's never going to happen. Get started now and start building money and revenue into your business. And most of the times the things that you see as ugly or not right or a mistake, people aren't even going to realize it. It's you scrutinizing your own business because you want it to be perfect. Start now so you can start making revenue and make it perfect later. The next mistake I would definitely say people make is thinking they can do it all their own, think they know it, they know everything. When I first started my business, I was so adamant about, moving in silence, don't let anybody know what you're doing, to the point that I didn't ask people who had experience in the business. You understand? I was too scared that somebody's going to tell me, no, Tanya, don't do this, don't do it this way, don't do it that way, and I would never start. When I did that, I actually kind of shot myself in the foot. And doing that kind of holds you at a disadvantage. Let me explain. Yes, it's great to move in silence, but there has to be somebody in your circle that you trust, somebody who actually owns a business, somebody that can tell you the ins and outs. There's so much that goes into it. It's not just having a business and letting it flourish. It doesn't work like that. You have to ask somebody, you have to ask for support, you have to ask for advice. Definitely from somebody who has it. I'm not saying go to your friend who doesn't own any businesses, doesn't understand your vision. Any business owner that you ask is going to look to you already proud. They know what it goes into owning a business. They know how hard it is, but they know what's on the other side of that rainbow. So make sure that you're asking somebody who has experience with being in a business, who has, failing and getting back up. And they'll be able to tell you that, having a business, people see the glorified part of it. They see, the money, the cars, or they see the stress and the headaches, or they see the flashy designer stuff, but they don't see what goes on behind the scenes. They don't see, the nights you were up sleeping and crying at night. They don't see the times where you thought you were a failure. A business owner who's had a business before is going to be able to tell you these things. They're going to prepare you for this, because when I went into it, I didn't even go to the people closest to me to ask for advice. I just wanted to surprise them. I wanted to pop up and let them see my big business venture. And they told me, I could have, connected you with a great attorney. I could have made sure that your closing went a little bit easier. I could have, showed you a great person for insurance and business insurance. And those are things that I didn't know I needed. I was so hell-bent on surprising everybody that I didn't ask the basic questions. So definitely don't think that you know it all. There's but so much research online and Google that you can look up, or YouTube videos that you can look up, that a business owner who's been in the business can tell you way more than that. They can tell you past the surface things and dive deeper into what you really need to know. So make sure that you're finding somebody who is close to you, somebody whom you trust, even if it's like the store that's at the mall that you always go into, or somebody who actually owns another business. Ask them, is there something that I'm missing? Is there something that I should know? I'm looking into going into this business. What do you think? You'd be surprised. One thing to understand is that birds of a feather flock together. Even if the person that you're asking to has nothing to do with the business that you're in, they have friends who are also in business that they can maybe refer you to, or link you with, so that you can ask the questions that need to be asked. Don't be too prideful, and make sure that you are asking the right questions and not thinking that you know it all. The next thing I would definitely say is a mistake that most business owners make in the beginning is not saving for a rainy day. You are used to working your 9 to 5. You are used to a paycheck every 2 weeks. This is not going to be the case as a business owner, okay? You have to pay yourself. You have to pay your staff. You have to pay your manufacturer. You have to pay who's your supplier. You have to pay for marketing. Make sure that you are saving for the things that you don't foresee coming up. You don't know if if you're going to need insurance. You're not going to know if you're going to have a disgruntled customer who wants to report you. You don't know what's going to happen. So make sure you're saving for the what if, or the uh-oh, okay? Or the oops, I call it. Make sure you're saving for these things, because you just don't know. The first 6 months to 1 year, I would say, is the honeymoon phase. In my business, guys, when I started, when I say I brought in, more money than I was making at the hospital, I brought in more money than, I was thought feasible, I was in the honeymoon phase. It was just all of this revenue coming to me. And think about it, the first year, you don't have bills. You already went through closing, you already first started your business, you already got your inventory. Everything else is kind of just coming to you until that first year is up and Uncle Sam has his hand out and you realize you have to pay taxes. You have to pay payroll. You have to maybe pay for taxes. You think all this money's coming for free? Uncle Sam has his hand out. He wants his portion. And if you weren't saving your money, then you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, how much you're going to need. So I would say maybe save a percentage of how much you're bringing in revenue and put it into a savings account. Name it your oops account, and, just save for a rainy day. When I first started, the boiler went out in my daycare center, and I didn't know I was responsible for that. I had no clue. Usually at your parents' house, the boiler goes out, somebody fixes it, and before you know it, you have heat and hot water. Well, it doesn't work like that in a business. And I quickly found out that that's going to have to come from somewhere. And if you're constantly spending your money on restocking or revamping your website all over again or redoing marketing, you're going to realize that the money that you have allocated to your savings is going to be depleted. And what are you going to do? How many loans can you take out? Make sure that you're saving that money, okay? I know it looks good. I know it looks even better in a bag. I know you want that new car. I get it. I get it. But make sure that you're doing it smart, okay? All of those things are going to come, but make sure you're saving for a rainy day because you just never know. Another mistake people make in new businesses, you're trying to appease everybody. You're trying to get every single customer you can into your business. You're trying to be a one-stop shop where, you don't tell anybody no. Yes, you could do that. You want it overnight? Sure, I could do that if I had to walk and give it to you. I mean, you're so excited to start your business. You're so excited to say you even have a business that you want to appease everybody. Everybody's fine. Everybody gets a free this if, they order from you. It doesn't work like that. There are plenty of times where you're just going to have to say, I'm not able to ship out within the next 2 hours. Okay, it's fine. Don't spread yourself too thin and try to be one stop for everybody, because remember, if you do for one person, you're gonna have to do it for them all. And the one moment that you're not able to do it for one person or the other person, what's gonna happen? First thing they're gonna do is go to your review page and put that 1 star that's going to drive you crazy. Make sure that you are sticking to your office hours, sticking to your boundaries, sticking to your shipment time, and not making special arrangements for people just to get the sale. Okay, this is going to ruin you in the long run. Please believe me. So of course I have a story for you. I started the daycares and they needed one person to come in extra early mornings for a parent that had to go to work early. Yes, of course, I'll open a little bit earlier. Before you know it, you have to account for staffing that has to be earlier, and licensing, you have to let them know, and just all these things that come with accommodating one parent, because the next parent finds out and the next person finds out, and before you know it, you done changed your whole policy, you changed your times, and the one parent that you're not able to appease or come in a little bit earlier than that, where are they going to? Your review page. So make sure that you are sticking to what you have in your policies and your procedures, because sticking to that gives you a guideline, and it lets the parents know or lets the customer know that yes, listen, you're going to get a quality product, but it's not going to be shipped out for 2 to 3 business days. You're going to receive it, and I'm going to make sure I do my part, but you have to allow me time to do that part, and I cannot make special arrangements for you. This happens more than you guys would know. There's going to be customers who say, I have this special event that comes in, that starts, and I'm not going to get my... Okay, you want the sale, but kind of stick to your guidelines. It's going to help you out in the long run and keep you safe in your business. The last thing I would definitely say is that they're undercharging. Usually when you start a new business, you feel like you don't know it all. You feel like you can't quite charge what other competitors are charging, and that's because you're undervaluing yourself. Remember, when you start off with your prices too low, you're telling people off the bat that your quality is not that great and that you're unsure of yourself and your product. So make sure that you are charging what you feel that you put into the business. Of course, you want your product to be in front of as many eyes as possible. You want to show them that you have great quality and great standards. So valuing your stuff too low or giving yourself the short end of the stick, guys, it's not going to go over well. I know what you're thinking. More people are going to buy from you. There's going to be more customers, more sales. But the amount that you're paying on inventory isn't going to quite match up to what you're bringing in. And you know what happens when your prices do decide to go up? You're going to lose a lot of customers. They're going to think you got too bougie, too full of yourself, and they can't believe that you're charging these prices. So start off the right way. Start off valuing yourself as you should. Make sure that you are charging for, whatever you're spending so that you are making a profit. Remember, the more profit, the more quality stuff you can bring in, the more customers, the more you can charge on marketing. But if you start valuing yourself too low, where is that marketing money coming from? It's going to have to come from your pocket. It's going to have to come from your savings. You're going to have to pull from something else, and the business won't be paying for itself. So make sure that you're valuing yourself accordingly. Your business has great quality product and it has a great boss behind it. So charge them the right way. Okay guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope these little tidbits helped out. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that like and subscribe button below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.